Welcome. I'm so very thrilled for you all to be joining us today. I can't wait. I can't wait to tell you. I don't even have to tell you anything. What's about to happen to you is
I've been antsy all day in anticipation of this because it is we're okay.
Tabby's
I
in the
don't want
house.
to talk
What's
it
up?
up too much and
Laurel.
then everyone's disappointed. So
Are you kidding me? There's no way they can be disappointed. For those of you, don't buckle in, y'all. We're in it together because, like we said when we were watching this on the porch, we were like, we've got to be together with the group, and that means you all. So, at the risk of sounding like these two dipshits, also some folks, Scruffy City Lawyer said my algorithm is now added Twin Flames Universe. You can push not interested, but if that's true, then hopefully with the hashtags I've put, welcome people who have accidentally stumbled into Jeff and Shaleia.
Perhaps even Jeff and Shaleia.
First of all, if it's Jeff and Shaleia. What's up, motherfuckers?
We'll bring you on screen.
Yeah,
Can
right.
you do that on this?
I'm not trying to curse my machine, but I would say before we get started, a general introduction. If you've stumbled upon this video, we're the hosts of Sinisterhood. We're a comedy podcast about all things sinister. I'm a lawyer. That's important to know, Jeff. Jeff Divine. And then also, we have covered these folks in a 3-part episode series. I think it's 266 to 268. You can find it on the YouTube channel. And if you were swindled, I'll use the term, by these folks, taken in, if these idiots sunk their claws into you in whatever way,
emotional abuse
wasn't your fault, right? Like, we say on the show, snakes are going to bite. And sometimes when you walk by a snake and they find you vulnerable, that's what happens. So I don't ever want you to think it had anything to do with you. And all the jokes we make tonight are directed at Jeff and Shaleia.
Yes.
I want you to feel it in your nuts, brother. I want you to feel it in your nuts for everything you did. So, folks.
Oh, my God. We're going to have to pause it a lot, okay? Because when we first watched it, like every 10 seconds, we had to pause it. So
because we were dying.
Because so much happened. So, we'll monitor and pause when needed, which might be a lot at the beginning.
It is, Kelly. Good news, because we are pausing, this is protected under fair use. We're doing it for purposes of commentary as well as education, because we're going to talk to you about some of the schemes that's going on.
Educating the shit out of you tonight.
And so you should, momentarily, they will come up on the screen. Warning for the jump scare. I didn't want to just, but unlike Hallmark After Dark, where you have to stream it on your own, we're going to, because of the pausing and whatnot, we're going to be able to play the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, jump scare. We're going to turn them on. Not as much as they turn themselves on or turn each other on in whatever sweaty way that may be. Have you got your headphone in?
No, I don't.
Oh,
so.
don't miss the audio. Don't miss all the mouth sounds you're going to hear.
Oh, I forgot how bad they are.
Yeah. This is going to be a long time, too. To give you a perspective, Sunday Scaries generally runs about an hour, and that's 20 minutes of footage. This is 48 minutes of footage. So we might watch for longer stretches, though. All right, gang. This is the first frame of the interview, by the way. The editor for W5. I want you all to watch for a few things. Avery Haines, impeccable.
Oh, she's a journalist. Incredible.
Amazing.
Iconic.
God damn, she's so good. And also, the editor of this footage should work for Curb Your Enthusiasm. That's all I've got to say about that. Shall we?
Let's.
I believe I've also configured the audio in advance, so it should sound, as good as they can. So prepare thyselves.
Well, let's play it and then let us know in the chat if it
Why
all
did you
sounds
feel
good.
that now was the right time
Can we pause
to share
and put
your
on
story?
Captions?
We cannot, unfortunately.
Okay. Really? I thought you could.
This is not on. This is a local file. All right.
Okay.
Shaleia got her colors done. Laurel said she did indeed. We can begin speaking about the outfits.
Got her colors done. I just realized that they low-key are giving like Victorian era, but
Yes.
like from Kohl's.
Without so the Kelly says 1.5 hours on YouTube. Do not be confused. There is a documentary that W5 has cut together, which includes portions of this interview, and then there's a 48-minute what we're fixing to watch, just the interview, and it is all you need.
I mean, both of them.
We did watch both of them. The other one's great.
You should watch.
It's inclusive and it covers a lot, and also with updates. So I think that in court sometimes, if you've got a particularly pernicious defendant, somebody people don't like, you do what is like dressing them up, especially in a conservative way. And I think for him, you know, he always wants to try to look like TD Jakes or whatever.
Who's that?
He's a preacher. He's like a
I feel like
3-piece suit or whatever.
They as we'll come to learn, I think they were consulted on a lot of. They consulted people on a lot of stuff. Somebody told him to wear these clothes.
She said the Victorian school marm and the gaunt ghost boy that haunts the halls. Yes, Lauren.
What is that? Is that a tartan?
It is a tartan plaid. And I think, Lauren, you're hitting the nail on the head. He looks like he's glaring at her like you know what to say. You'll start to hear.
I want to smack the shit out of him. I want to thump him on the forehead like
go,
a child.
Hey, no.
Like a coconut.
Quit it. All right, here we go.
Well, I feel that there wasn't really a time, like there wasn't really a space to share our story. So when we would poke our heads out, so to say, it was just outrage, outcry. Like that's not a conversation. That's just being around a reaction. And so we just wanted to have time
the shit
to
fits,
let
bitch.
things kind of calm down and cool off, and you know, hopefully create a space where we could come out.
What is it? She's just saying
we really
words.
didn't want to, but it seems that it just wasn't our time. It was the time of.
Therefore, however,
you know, the other side to share what they wanted to share.
But
the other side. So who's that?
That would be the
haters?
victims, the survivors, those that have claimed to have been wronged by them. And I would say we heard a lot from them. And that's the thing that I think undercuts everything they're fixing to say, and everything they'll ever say is there is Keeley's hard drive contained such a wealth of footage that like whatever they say, it's like we literally have seen the opposite.
That's why I was like, why would you even do this interview? Because you know that we know there was a very popular Netflix series with all this footage that like we've seen with our own eyes that proves what she's asking is true. So like you look crazy that you're trying to gaslight all of this. Like, we know what we fucking saw.
For sure. Courtney, I don't know what she said either. It was word salad, Stephanie says.
No, she's just talking in circles. So I think that they got probably, they hired a PR person who is there. Because we will learn in a bit.
They're finna point at him when the shit
We'll learn a bit about him. So he is there. And they paid him a good chunk of change, because they talk about that, to
with the church's
probably
money.
Help them with all of this, you know, their look, what they're gonna say. Some of their answers are like so canned and prepared that they sound like statements, and it's so like
insincere and inauthentic feeling.
Yeah, it's like delivering a monologue versus like being sincere.
It does not seem like exactly. It seems like it is cue, like they hit the cue and the action goes.
And sometimes they'll glitch and they won't know what to say, so they just repeat it.
Yes.
Like
you'll
AI,
watch the glitch happen.
Like,
okay.
Watch for the glitches.
We're 52 seconds in.
Okay.
No, it's good.
And for you though, like why now?
Same. I mean,
same.
That's our answer.
Same.
Yeah.
That's our answer. He's basically like, well, we both memorized the same answer, and she said all of it, and so I can't say anything else because she said
a terrible.
Same. That's our answer.
He's terrible on the spot. He's a terrible interview.
Yeah, and when he's not in control, because we've seen how he takes over those Zoom meetings with the people that are paying him a shitload of money. Bless your hearts. You don't know what you do.
But that's our answer. Like clearly they had. They prepared that ahead of time.
Night, feeling canceled.
Yeah.
Do you feel as though you both have been canceled?
Undoubtedly. I mean, this is a textbook example of cancel culture.
Explain that for me.
Well, you know, I think she's probably the better person to explain that. She's the one doing all the studying of it all. So.
Well, it's just that there was a reaction towards us. And it caught fire.
Glitching.
And
she already said all this.
Here it goes.
Shared all around the internet, and it got picked up, and then
she already said. At first, I was like,
snowballing and snowballing.
Did we rewind?
And
it seems,
what we have now.
Also, wait.
yeah, there just like wasn't an opportunity for us to like really share our side.
That wasn't even a
Jeff, what do you
question.
think the public's perception of you is, and where are they wrong?
Wait, pause it for a second.
I think they think.
So he also had no idea what cancel culture is.
I think that's coming.
No, I'm just explaining.
Oh, at the moment.
And how he then threw her under the bus.
Immediately for the second time.
Yeah, and she's just like, somebody's got to answer it. What a pussy move.
He's such a
You're
beta
2
cuck.
for 2
You
now.
fucking beta
But you're
cuck.
like, I don't know what cancel culture is. I know I'm a victim of it, but I can't tell you what it is.
Also, sweat check. He has begun to perspire, as you noticed, because this shit is about to get for real skews.
Thermometer, like, could go up every time.
Well, anyhow, we're beginning to get stringy. Shit's about to go down.
Not a nice person, and that I hurt people, and it could not be further from the truth.
From what we've
The
seen
words
with
that
our
have been used to describe you are narcissistic, coercive,
Yeah,
bully,
not true. Not true.
cult leader,
Yeah, not true.
No.
and that you have destroyed people's lives.
Not true.
No.
Not true at all.
My official statement is no.
But so why are you the lightning rod for so much hate?
Look at him, lady.
Why is that?
I think because we love people.
That sounds tough. The equation doesn't add up. People who love
Wait,
don't usually
wait.
receive hate. I just
Wait.
don't.
Not true.
Wait.
That's not true. Look at history.
Look at history.
Okay, tell me.
Well, I'm not the.
Well, when you look at, for instance,
Dumbass.
like a lot of like historical figures, like Martin Luther King, like
Oh!
he loved, and he was loving not
Oh!
just the black community, but loving the white community and loving the world, and he received a slew of hate, led to his assassination.
Yes, yes, she did. If you, in case you thought you just had a stroke, yes, she did just compare him to Martin Luther King Jr.
Yes. I go, when this happened on the porch, I was like gasping. And I was like, Christy, we're 3 minutes in. And they immediately start talking how they're fucking like Martin Luther King. Listen. Listen. Is it true that he loved the black people as he did the white people? Certainly, that is correct. But much like you shouldn't just shout true things out of context.
Oh, he can't answer anything. He doesn't. He panics. And
No.
she is such a good interviewer because she doesn't let him off the hook.
No.
And then he like literally has to pass it to her.
Yes.
Admit he doesn't know how to answer it.
No,
How
because he's a
embarrassing.
fucking dumbass. I said what I said.
Okay.
All right, next. So, we know he's like MLK, which, led to his assassination. Bitch, the FBI killed MLK. You want to talk about COINTELPRO? Now you're spreading misinformation beyond being a cult leader. Fuck you. All right.
You know, or like, I don't know, like I grew up Catholic, so I think of Jesus. You
think
know,
of
like,
Jesus.
He was just loving everybody, even though it was difficult and they didn't always like what he had to say or do. It was extremely controversial back then, but like, he was loving them.
Pause.
You have described yourself.
I was a Catholic.
So she now has compared him to Martin Luther King and then Jesus. Because how do you trump the Martin Luther King Jr. thing?
Right? Because my thing is,
Jesus.
yeah.
And then this dipshit. What's his name? Jeff Divine.
Jeff I
Jeff
can't even
Divine,
remember his
MLK, and Jesus.
the top three, the Holy Trinity.
We know who is going to be killed.
I
and
just
not
love-
fuck, marry, kill every single time.
Wait, fuck, marry, kill. No, we can't.
I said,
Can we?
I said we know he's going to be killed. Every
Yes.
single time.
But I was like, well, we'll think on that one and answer it at the end. Jesus, ever hear of him? That's literally what she said. I was Catholic, so, I think of Jesus, and he was like loving everybody. And I'm like, and that's why I think I should be the National Honor Society president. That's like what it's giving, dog. It sucks
dude.
shit.
They are both.
All
Well, I
right.
mean, they both peaked in high school, so that's really like kind of
Dude.
stunted in their growth as a
No.
human.
And imagine your peak is such a mound. The
Yeah.
fucking footage of
It's
him
not
in
a
his
high
house
peak.
is so good. Okay, we'll go back. We'll
It's like an
continue.
anthill.
Little
The
baby
Master
mound.
Christ.
Wait, back it up a bit.
Okay.
Hold up.
This motherfucker.
Sorry.
Fuck
It's
you.
like what he had to say or do was extremely controversial back then.
It was
But
extremely
like, he was
controversial.
loving them.
Wait.
You have described yourself as the Master Christ.
Okay. Would you like to elaborate on what you'd like to,
Get him,
Well,
bitch.
it's just you have described yourself as the Master Christ, right?
Right, okay.
So what does that mean to you?
You think she's gonna crack?
It's a spiritual exploration. And, these docudramas and this cancel culture takes everything super out of context to make it look
how
like
we're
I'm
back to
some
cancel culture.
megalomaniac
I'm so horny for this
who's
moment.
using these strange titles
He
to
barely
claim
could say
power,
that
or
word.
they say that I think I'm Jesus. And that's just so silly.
Here we go. With
Hair
the
flip
hair.
one.
The
You
You
hair
believe
flips
that you
started.
have a direct line to God, and that God tells you what's good for your followers,
Kitties.
what's good for your
No,
community.
that's a silly misperception and a twisted way to
Such a narcissist.
present how we operate in a relationship with our students.
Oh, it's hair flip too.
So first of all,
Oh, wait.
everyone has a direct
Yeah, we
line to
should be
God, and
keeping
that's
count.
what we teach. And for us, God is love itself. And
when we
God is
fuck,
a loving,
that's
conscious
God.
being that created us. And we all have a direct line
His mouth
Mouth
is
to
so dry.
God. We all know love in our hearts, and we can all choose to follow the direction that love is leading
Here it
us or
comes.
not.
Looking real beta Christ
And,
right now, my husband said. Hell yeah.
If you're a parent, you know if your child is gonna do something that's going to harm them, and you can direct
knows
them
better.
otherwise.
Daddy
Don't
knows
put your
better.
hand
So
on that
far afield
stove.
from where-
And
Master
if you,
Christ.
you have a
Question.
toddler, they wouldn't
Timu
know any
Jesus.
better. You have a more
Yeah, drink on
mature
the hair flips for it
perspective,
too.
in this area of life. And so you would lovingly direct them not to. And if they're just about
Those
to,
eyes.
you might yell, "Hey, don't do that!"
That's what you yelled. Yeah,
And,
hey, don't do
you know,
that.
You probably
I'm
have seen
fucking shook.
me yelling at my students. It's not abuse, and no one
abuse.
He said
at
abuse
the time
first.
He's
felt
the one
like
that
it
said
was
abuse.
abusive, and we had many
Bitch,
dialogues
you said
along
abuse.
the way.
She
Hey,
didn't
like
even-
let's
she
talk
said
about,
nothing about abuse.
our teaching style.
Flip,
Everything
here
was
we
on the
go.
table
Take a
for
drink.
Open discussion. No
Hair
one had a
flip 3.
problem with it. In fact, people felt really
Zips
loved
for
and
flips,
cared
Kim
for
says.
when I would yell at them in classes. They felt like someone
yeah.
cares about me enough.
Wait, back it up.
Wait,
back
wait,
it up.
hold
This
on.
part
It's
is so
uncomfortable to
fucking
yell at people. I
crazy.
don't
Hold
wanna
on.
do that.
I'm gonna see if I can
And look,
rewind
you
with my
can
button.
also look at Shaleia right now. She's dying inside. She knows that they are fucked.
The floundering hath begun. Look at
Oh,
his
yeah.
face.
But the
How far do you want me to go back?
bullshit that, like, probably is there's good. The
Okay.
bullshit that's about to come out of this motherfucker's mouth.
Okay.
Cares about me enough
Oh.
to yell at me.
No,
Because
yeah,
it's
back it up a little
uncomfortable
bit
to
more.
yell at people. I don't want to.
He's talking about the girls in his class that he yells at. This is how they
When
feel.
he screams in their face.
Discussion. No one had a problem with it. In fact, people felt really loved and cared for when I would yell at them in
They
classes.
felt loved and
felt
cared
like
for when he did that.
Someone cares about me enough to yell at me. Because it's uncomfortable to yell at people. I don't want to do that.
don't wanna
I don't
hurt
have
you.
to. But I love these people. I want to see them grow. I want to see them thrive. And so I put myself on the line in order to be able to
What a
to
king.
help people.
And yet, Jeff, the
she's
people who
just
are
like-
no longer in the Twin Flames universe will describe their feelings towards that in a completely different way.
Of course.
That.
So should I grab some
Pause.
water? quick?
Sure, yeah.
Oh, wait,
okay.
No,
Also,
no. Go
okay,
ahead, go ahead.
okay.
First, say what you're gonna say before. You
In the first time, I didn't notice the shade of that.
Avery Haines. Avery Haines. I have my Canadian shirt on
Whatever
today.
That whole thing was that you just yammered on about that made no sense. And she's
But
just like,
truly, well, and like also like him going like they liked when I scream at him, despite what they've like said on camera, and he's like they loved it. I'm like on the footage we see them crying. So what evidence aside from your own dumbass
maybe one of them
delusions?
did, but
the
that's
time.
if one of them doesn't, then
That's
you got
it.
a problem. You
It's
can't even one is too many.
It's an individual basis, certainly. But you're right. Whenever she was like that, I'm like, essentially, she's like the abuse that you just described that they all allege. Okay. Yeah, the reporter do we look like she wants to throw up, but we can't blame her. Okay, everyone, get ready.
To help people.
And yet, Jeff, the people who are no longer in the Twin Flames universe will describe their feelings towards that in a completely different way.
Of course. Is it okay if I grab some water?
Oh,
real
for
quick?
sure, yeah.
Do you know where my Fiji went?
The wide shot.
No. You may need to get a new one.
Okay, that's fine.
It's fine. Just fluffing my skirt and dying inside. Dying inside. Want to. Oh, it's not
Sorry,
the skirt. It's
just
That's okay.
I believe this is their
Sorry.
house.
I just want to.
He gets dry mouth and he talks a lot.
Yeah, me too. I get dry mouth too.
I don't know if you want on your microphone.
Pause it for a second. What I hate about this is it's obviously such a fake interaction on her part. Like, you can't go from having this discussion you're just having to like
Being like, he gets dry mouth.
Joking,
like,
you know
ma'am,
what I mean?
we've heard
but
you
that
like...
shows a lot of their character, like the type of person that they are, that they, you know, they do think they can just like turn
Forget
on some
about it.
charm and win people over.
And they'll forget about it. All right. Yeah, her fancy pants. Oh, here he comes. We're back. Flip that hair, Jeff.
So Jeff, you talk about yelling at people lets them know that you actually are showing them love.
LOL.
No, but kind of.
Okay. But the people who are on the receiving end of that, who are
Sure.
no longer part of the community,
Okay.
felt bullied and manipulated and exploited by you. They felt like you really hurt them.
Yeah. We loved those people.
Oh.
And we wish them well. We hope that they find the healing that they seek.
Script.
And
Script check.
it's unfortunate that they couldn't.
Line? Line?
It's unfortunate that they didn't
Line?
find that
You
with
got it.
us. And we did our very best to love them and serve them and support them with what they had asked us to support them with. And we
And
parted ways, and that's
Line?
okay. We wish them well.
Whoop.
They
We
don't
parted
feel
ways.
well, though. They feel really damaged by their experience
They
in the
do.
Twin Flames universe.
Okay. We did everything we could to love these people.
No!
They didn't come to us,
Well-
you know, without hurt, without.
Pause.
Here's the thing.
He's already victim blaming. He's putting
100%.
it back on them, but she is not letting up. And he thought she was gonna like switch to a different question.
No.
She's like, "Bitch, you're not getting off the hook."
I definitely think he thought getting up would have got her on a different thing, or he's like, she's not going to bring it back up. I'm like, who do you think you're sitting across from, first of all? But second of all, I might say perhaps he is not lying or, you know, not misrepresenting when he says we did everything we could to love him and perhaps love them. And perhaps it is not within their capabilities as human beings to care about anything else other than their own wealth, their own income. Like, so the way they see as loving people is to sprinkle a little bit of themselves on them and extract as much as they can out of them. And to them, that's like love. To like normal and polite society, it's exploitation is what sort of the general consensus seems
Also,
to
it's
be.
a pyramid scheme.
Yeah, it's some Michael Scott. Boop, boop, boop. Well, you just have to bring 3 friends, and they bring 3 friends, and we just stand on each other's shoulders. All right. Well, y'all are killing it in the chat, too, by the way. That does not go unnoticed. Yeah, they said, did they check the fridge for the talking points? And then I think Sierra said he probably went to the fridge to get something to poison himself to get away.
For real. Get a cyanide capsule, just keep it in the pocket of your cheek.
So good.
I probably would have
Yeah,
bit
so-
it by now.
Just take me away. He just goes, pardon me, and then just runs and leaps through the window and just splashes into the pool. Sinks to the bottom like Cameron on Ferris Bueller.
He started this a different color.
Sallow. His face is paled. His eyes have become sunken. The
He
sweat-
has aged like 30 years in how many minutes has this been?
Dog, he got Avery Haines. It's been 7:51.
7 minutes. And this is how
This woman destroyed him in less than 10
wheels
minutes.
off, but also how unprepared and like, oh, they bit off more than they could chew.
This is so
They're
good.
in over their heads.
Somebody, I think, it might have been in our Instagram comments, was like, who told them that she would be a soft interview? Like, if,
Yeah.
you know, or
Unless
maybe
they got paid a lot. I don't know why
I don't
they
know
would
that,
do this.
or if you got paid, or if it was just nobody else was going to do an interview with you, or I don't know.
You're just fame seeking,
Probably.
trying to get out there, and you think it's gonna go a
They're like,
different way.
we'll get more followers. Hey, babe, people will see the interview, and we'll get. Hang on, babe, we're gonna get a lot more followers.
Has he started with the water yet?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he has.
He chugged it at the fridge.
Okay.
All right, continue.
Every time he drinks, we drink.
Without
Yeah,
upsets.
we're gonna get
and when you
fucking
do the spiritual work, you
hydrated.
become
So
aware of your hurts.
His
They're
vest is feeling tight.
often unconscious. So this spiritual process is one of
Check his liver.
working through layers of your consciousness.
For real.
Tell me about
This Oregon Trail looking
Channeling.
motherfucker.
the channeling that you
He looks like
received
he
from
can't ford
God
the river.
Okay.
to decide who was each other's twin
Dysentery.
flame.
Right. I just don't like the framing here. Like it doesn't.
Oh, bitch! Like the
framing
It doesn't
pause.
line up with what.
Now he's getting bitchy.
Watch
Like,
his little bitchy face. We're gonna go on
this
micro
is when,
expressions.
like, she has won so hard.
Look at that! Look at that!
Because he's letting emotions get involved with this.
The thing about a narcissist, in my opinion. I don't know if he is one, but oftentimes a person who is as self-centered as he is, when they're challenged, the anger they want to mask so that they still seem in control. But the micro expressions, which we can catch a frame like an interview, is you can't hide that. So he thinks he's, you put on a 3-piece suit and that you're going to come pretend that you're some like kind pastor, but your fucking face gives you away,
he
dog.
Thinks he's way smarter.
He do be
than
looking like
is,
he's farting
too.
though too.
And he's also not used to people, challenging him.
Yeah. And, well, without him being able to go, da 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 da, God told me, yada yada yada. And so, like, when the playing field is even, as it always happens, a fucking bully is shown to be absolutely vacant. It is a facade. It's like a Wild West town. Kick them in the chest, and they tump over every fucking time. And Avery Haines has about 50 more minutes of kicking him in the chest. So prepare. The toppling will come.
It doesn't line up with what our reality is.
Why does that bother you so much?
Wait, can we back
there's
it
this
up?
perception is that I'm not a nice
Because I
person,
wanna
and
catch
I'm
the question that she asked.
Twin flame.
She's asking about channeling. Sorry, it's kind of hard to be. There we go, precise.
working through layers of your consciousness.
Tell me about channeling. The channeling that you receive from God
Okay.
to decide who was each other's twin flame.
Right. I just don't like the framing here. Like it doesn't line up with what our reality is.
Why does that bother you so much?
So good.
Well, there's this perception is that I'm not a nice person, and I feel like I'm being thrown in with a whole other mindset of not nice people who do not nice things to people.
Sorry.
And
Not
it's
nice
just simply
thing.
not us. It's not what we do.
Love me, mommy.
Well, so what you're addressing is
Flip,
you
that's
know,
4.
People say
Chug.
that we tell people who their twin flame is.
You do. We've seen it
do.
on
But
footage.
it's a
We've seen the footage.
spiritual path that
We
you
all
have
saw
to
the
take on
fucking
your own.
docuseries,
You-
idiot.
That's the dumbass thing is this is so
I am offended at how stupid they think the public is. That,
Yes.
like, do you think we all didn't watch that?
we saw the fucking footage and it was that you would say and the emails, like that's the other thing is like they left such a paper trail. Say it and forget it, write it and regret it. Unless you say it on Zoom, then you're a dumbass and you're probably gonna get busted, which is what happened here. So it's like there is such an overwhelming amount of evidence, but that's the delulu that somebody is steeped in that they think that they could say to a camera and
the
it makes it true.
hubris.
Absolutely. Laurel said that man has never given a woman a real orgasm in his life, and that is true.
That's also true. Look at those lips.
You can
Not
tell
with
by
those
his
lips.
face. Sometimes I snort. Laurel, you did it. You did it to me. Let's go on while he's wet his whistle and we'll continue.
Oh, man.
It's
To
giving
walk your
Fire
path.
Fest.
And we know the path quite well. We're experts in our field. We've seen this happen many times.
We're
It happens
experts in
every
our
day.
field.
What's that field?
What field are you
What
in?
field are you in?
He's like, listen, guys, if you make
Snake
up a
oil
field,
business?
if you make up a field, then you're in charge of it because it's your field. So if you make up fake shit and make your own book,
truly, I mean, I guess that's how anything gets started.
exactly.
You just say, act as if it's true.
Belief system, cult. What's the difference?
You can see when something is coming up on someone's spiritual horizon.
5.
And we'll point that out. Hey, we invite you to explore.
That's never what
We
they
don't
said,
match, make twin flames.
That's what you did on the footage.
But there were 2 rounds. There were 2 specific rounds where people were told, you two are together, you two are together.
No, it's not like that.
But
We saw all that happen.
we saw the spreadsheets. We saw the footage. Like, what the fuck, man?
He's just so...
I'm flipping my hair now. He's making me do it. Yeah.
Surely he's going to get arrested for something.
One wonders, given the numerous allegations against them.
Nuance to this. And we live in that fine nuance. We operate there as a community in
With
the
the
spiritual
spreadsheets
teaching.
and the directives.
It's not so black and white. as you're being match made, as it just said.
I think when he said black and white, that was the line on the spreadsheet that he made with the names next to each other. The people he said they should have babies together. We've seen it, man.
An invitation to explore.
Are you denying that there were these 2 rounds of suggestions from the 2 of you on who each other's twin flame was?
They're not denying that there was an invitation to explore, but you have to take the journey for yourself. If I said to you, you might like this veggie burger.
No, bitch, that ain't what you said.
It's up to you to try to eat it or not.
No, what you said was, God told me that if you want to achieve happiness, you have to eat this veggie burger. And I know you're allergic because you don't subscribe to that sexual ideology, but you got to do it because God said so. And there's only so many men in this group and we got to start hooking people up, okay? Yeah, he's fucking full of shit.
Except if you're feeling so much that there's a requirement to please the 2 people who have become so important in your community. And then the choice might not be there as clearly.
We don't encourage that kind of power dynamic.
Scripted.
You don't?
Yeah.
No.
Really?
Really?
I'm so pissed.
I mean,
Shoulder
you're the
shrug.
guru. Right? Your words have weight.
They do.
Yeah.
You look dubious.
She's gentle parenting him.
Yeah,
I'm
she is.
not sure what you mean by that.
Because he doesn't know what
You,
dubious
you,
means.
you seem
I guarantee you he does not know what dubious means.
Oh, the really is.
I'm-
Yeah. She was asked it, and then she goes, "Are you sure?" No.
No.
Really? Like,
Really?
who are you thinking you're fooling?
We all know. All right.
super defensive.
I feel that the framing is unfair.
But I'm asking you questions based on what's out there from your own videos.
Yes.
On
But
your own
it's
videos.
taken out of context.
Then how do you explain how harmed people feel? I mean, there are people who, I think you've called them your hate squad. There are people who feel as though you tried to
Taylor
tell them.
Swift. He's like, we've got a hate squad, guys. Now we got bad blood. And he flips his hair and he drops to his knees like Reputation.
That they were in the wrong gender, that they needed to change gender. Not one, not 2, but a number of people.
Sure, I'm happy to address, these concerns.
Script.
It's
It's crazy.
It's like they were like he all of a sudden was like, "Burp," and that just got turned
Look
on.
at his
and
eyes. He's staring into the
he-
distance,
It's like he's staring
disassociating.
into the mirror, rehearsing this. How immediate when she asked this question, this is what we're
Kick it in.
supposed to say.
Sure, I'm happy to address that.
Because
You're
obviously
happy
she
to
was
address
gonna ask this one.
exactly. You're happy to address when you told literal people they had to transition.
Sure, I'm happy to address, these concerns.
Hate squad.
We are very gentle about this
Bitch.
this subject because it's incredibly, personal. We do
That
not
part's true.
force gender
Accurate.
change. We never have.
Not sure.
No, here's the deal. And that's the other thing. Everything's not black and white. I am sure some people came to them that perhaps were questioning their gender and sexuality, and whatever number of them happily have transitioned and are living their happy lives. And for them and all people, I hope they are able to walk in and live their truth freely and independently of any of this man's whatnot. But there are people that instead of talk to him, we'd be like that. Now we're trying to Avery Haines them. But for real, there are what he is denying then is the lived, which is it's just as important to honor those people's lived experiences as it is the other people who said, that's not my name. You're making me change my name. You're making me cut my hair.
Or you're making me be in a romantic
yes,
relationship
with
with,
somebody
someone I don't find,
Yes.
I'm not attracted to in that way.
Exactly. So I think, it's terrible to see a person.
Or they're a felon
Yes.
and 30 years older than you.
with some horrible anger issues, and you send a young girl to go off and be with them. But I think, also, I can't speak on anybody else's behalf, but it does not look good for him when he, sort of trots people out and go, well, look, these people are happy, and tries to say that then denies the experience
Right.
of these other people. It's like, that's very.
Both things could be true.
Exactly.
Invite people to explore their gender polarity and see what try it on. See what that is like for you.
In the twin flame community
It's the
at
first time she's
large,
talked in
not
like 5
just
minutes.
Twin Flames universe,
He's reflecting on what he's done wrong.
there's this belief that in a twin flame union, there's a divine feminine and there's a divine masculine polarity. And that polarity is what creates attraction. And so that's what we have found to be true for us and for many others.
We foisted it on
And
people.
so
This made up
we
thing
invite
that you
people
made
to
up.
explore that. I feel like that's an important part of a person's spiritual journey is finding out, you know, their sexuality, finding out their gender. I did it, you know.
This is
I
where
did it. Like
hang
it's,
on,
like it's something that like
it's all yes.
you could choose to do.
She's
or
like,
you could
just
choose
try it
not to
on.
do.
We're just
Yeah.
telling you to just explore. It's like that's not what you did at all. And so it's always like you said, how stupid do you think we are? And again, I think it's like I know what I'm gonna say. You know, like
Yeah.
I know. Okay, I'm gonna bring this story out now.
As a teenager, I did it when I was in college, and I
Did what?
Oh, I explored my gender and my sexuality as a teenager, and even as a young girl, I knew like I was attracted to the masculine, and I felt very strongly, probably in a male body. And then in college, I thought, well,
He's just
I
staring
know
in the
I like
distance.
the masculine
Hello,
energy. It
darkness,
could be
my
in a
old
woman.
friend.
And so I experimented there, and I felt like, I don't know. I think maybe, you know, I think maybe a masculine and a male body. That's probably my polarity.
Except your
And the thing is, it's like that was a nothing answer to
No.
the question, which is people have alleged that you wielded your spiritual authority and power over them to make choices that or not even make choices, but to take paths that they otherwise wouldn't take. But they're reframing it that they were just like, hey, we want everybody to be open. And that's what we should all say as a society. And
Sure.
I don't think that that's what they were saying at all. What they were saying was, there's too many women.
They were forced to do whatever they wanted them to do.
Meanwhile, they're trying to reframe it, and Scruffy City Lawyer said they're out here like a modern day Ferdinand and Isabella, just inviting people to explore left and right. Like, please go find the Americas. Like, they have never once said explore in those videos. It was you will.
Oh yeah, for sure.
the way I've seen it
This is all
is
like
that a
fluff
divine
descriptions of
masculine
what they do.
cannot be in a feminine body. That body has to change
Not
to a man.
Not true.
Spirit penis. Spirit
Really?
penis.
That's correct.
So you've never suggested that somebody was in the wrong body, that they were actually a divine masculine and not a divine feminine.
Like the footage we saw.
So we invite people to explore their gender polarity.
Script.
But Jeff,
He
if you
just
have an element of control over them or
Glitch,
sway
glitch.
over them,
Okay.
and they hear you say that, and they know that it will please you,
That's
To
not the
adopt that.
She's
relationship.
great.
That's not the relationship we invite.
drenched
We're
in
not inviting
sweat.
people to please us. We're inviting people to explore their spirituality, to look within themselves, to have their own personal relationship
is
with
popping
God.
out of his
It's
head.
not about me. It's never been about me. I don't want it to be about me.
none of
cynic
those
would
statements
say-
were true.
you've got a business model, and the business model relies
flipped his
on
hair
twin
since we've
flames
last seen
being
them.
found. And you guys made a decision that, we've only got women. The vast majority of people who are
out. What is wrong?
Him?
He just was like,
Oh yeah, he's uncomfortable. He's probably got sweat dripping down his back,
Ugh.
all down his front too.
dude,
following us
nasty.
are women. We need to make some of them kind of like puppet
Here, I'm
masters,
going to give you a
men,
few more seconds of her question.
business model. And the business model relies on twin flames being found. And you guys made a decision that, we've only got women. The vast majority of people who are following us are women. We need to make some of them kind of like puppet masters, men. And then we're going to tell those people are going to be their twin flames, and they must maintain that twin flame in order to continue showing the world that this twin flame
This
works.
sounds a lot like a conspiracy theory. That's a lot of stretching going on
Well,
here.
where's the stretching, Jeff?
Yeah, she literally said your work back to you,
What's
bitch.
what do you know? Could you clarify what you're asking?
Yeah, but you said there's a lot of stretching there.
Well, you have this very stretched out,
Excuse
tall
me.
tale about what a cynic supposes that we do here, but it's just
5,
not true.
6? Are we at 6 now?
But so what part of that was stretching? Because most of the people that were in your community are women, correct?
Yep.
Most women, interested in relationships. That's, yeah.
And
Sorry,
you, but
another drink of water.
okay, sure.
Let's just not, before he went to go and suckle at the teat of Smart Water, let us not forget that Shaleia went.
He has the bottle. He hasn't got the bottle yet.
He left it over there. But Shaleia's like, most women want to be in relationships. And yeah, why did he go, you've got this big old stretched out story. Like, what do you say? Am I stretched out? What?
I think he, anytime he's challenged, like, to explain what he just meant, he
about to shit
cannot.
himself.
And that shows that he doesn't even know or understand what he believes.
No.
He's just saying shit.
It's a script.
And also that you can't say the truth because it's illegal and unethical.
Yeah, he's airing out the mud butt. Emily
Oh,
says.
yeah,
God
yeah.
damn, he is.
First
Also,
of all, can you imagine just like being
this guy? Holy shit, I
You're
want to
just
talk
like,
to this guy.
I'm just watching these two people crash out, and I have to stand here perfectly still.
I just want to put it out there. If you were on this set and you want to send us a Freaky Friday or anonymous email,
Dude.
or publicly want to come on the show, you are welcome. The open invitation. We would love to hear from you.
Man, I bet you get to witness some
Whack
cool shit being in a job
Probably.
like that.
Right, just go along.
Like a fly on the wall situation.
And you got to try not to laugh. Okay.
He's going to get water, Tara, so he can stop with the mouth noises.
Hopefully.
Spoiler alert, they
He
don't
doesn't.
stop.
Is there? Can we see an ass imprint on the chair? No, I'm just kidding. I think it's just a chair.
Maybe, though.
But there will be one by the end of this interview. Okay.
Is water there?
Yeah, keep
Is
it right
in
there.
the
That's
shot?
fine, Jeff.
camera?
No, it's fine.
Left all this in.
Yeah, okay.
Just turn it up there. Yeah.
Sure.
He's talking to the PR guy. Wait, what did he say?
Wait. Hold on.
Because I think that's...
Because we missed that last time. Okay, hold on.
Another drink of water.
Okay, sure.
Listen to her.
Can he put his water there?
Yeah, keep
Is
it right
in
there.
the
That's
shot?
fine, Jeff.
camera?
No, it's
Okay.
fine.
Do your tie there.
Yeah, okay.
Just turn it up there. Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, he's telling him to pull his tie down.
Oh, that's that guy saying that. Okay. He's doing him solid with that.
It gets dry in winter, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But most of your community is women. And the premise of the
7,
Twin
hair
Flames
flip.
universe is, amongst other things, that you're going to find your twin flame through the help of the spiritual work that you do and through you.
Sure.
So you've got a bit of a business problem if all of your followers are straight women.
Not true.
No.
That's not our business model.
No.
It is their business model, but what is not true is that it's not a problem because you just match them up and just tell them they have to change genders.
Our business model is, as I said, it's to help you look within yourself and love yourself, and that produces profound effects.
How many of your followers or how many people in your community have transitioned?
I don't know, a dozen maybe. Or...
A dozen. Well,
And how many of them have transitioned with the suggestions from you or as part of the exploration with you?
In the beginning, there were quite a few, and that's many of them.
I think from what, a lot of them have shared that they were feeling this way,
eyebrows
like
are
even prior
twitching.
to meeting us. Like,
Some of them broke down and cried when they got the news from you that they
were upset.
were actually divine masculines, even though they were women.
So that's not the correct framing. It's an invitation to explore your gender polarity.
That doesn't
That's
even
not
make
what they
sense.
said.
On
We
part
saw
of-
the
of your
emails.
community
But I'll pause
have
it.
said that they
He's just saying nonsense words and acting like that's a response to what she's asking, and it's like they're two different things.
Yeah,
it doesn't even make sense.
Like
what
you
he's
said, he
saying.
glitches out and just kind of says it. Says whatever.
Yeah, he's not even really answering a question. He's just like, what does we invite you to explore?
Yeah.
And she's saying, how many people have transitioned?
Yeah.
We invite you to explore doesn't answer that at all.
Yeah. I mean, I think his argument, and probably if to put my legal hat on, if you're being accused of religious coercion, where you said, I am God, and people followed you, as well as financial coercion, labor exploitation, you're accused of really serious things. The best defense would be to frame it as they all chose to do this. I said, here's a path to go down. So I think that whomever, perhaps his, that's what Lori said, lawyer coached wording, agreed. Because it's like, okay, just make sure, just use the phrase invite to explore. Because you just invited them to explore. That's why he sounds like a fucking broken record. Because if you tell the truth, you start getting a little tripped up.
Were told by you that they were a different gender. Are you saying that they misinterpreted what you were saying, or are you saying that I'm framing it in the wrong way?
I'm saying and telling you what we do in these circumstances.
But it matters what they hear. So it's what you're putting out maybe is different from what they're hearing, and I'm just trying to figure out if that's...
Well, there's an ongoing dialogue, and we are responsible for our part of the relationship. I can't possibly be responsible for someone else's part of a relationship.
But if you tell somebody that they're the wrong gender, if they hear that, so you have former followers who believed that you told them that they needed to change their gender.
It's just... it's not fair because the spirit of the community and the culture of the community is one of openness and dialogue and exploration and support.
No one's saying
not this
not.
fearful, put you into the corner, you have to
7,
do this.
8,
It's
what was
just
that?
not true.
But I'm not getting it. I don't feel like I'm getting an answer to that.
Thank you, because you're not. What did he say?
I just don't feel like I'm getting an answer to that. I mean, there are
I love that she doesn't let up. God damn.
to that.
Okay.
Okay.
What an ass.
I just don't feel like I'm getting an answer to that. I mean, there are people in your community who paint you both as puppet masters, as cult leaders, who have a level of control over people who are very vulnerable, and that you're abusing that control. And you're telling them what gender they are because it fits into your business model.
No. You know, we've
The evidence certainly
again,
points to that.
You know, we are here lovingly supporting people on their spiritual journey. We are not puppet masters. We are not over-exercising our control to get people to do things that we want them to do. This is difficult work.
He's like, we work so hard.
This is difficult work. But
So
also
hard.
that he's like trying to like sell this snake oil to someone that like, you know, she's like smarter than anyone you've met before.
Yeah, honestly.
Like, so but he just like keeps trying, and that's what makes me want to die even more.
Yes.
Is
the best part.
just admit you've lost and keep it somber, but don't try to like turn on like jokey, like
Okay.
It's just, ugh.
Okay. Well, and I think too, she is as smart as he wishes he was, and he absolutely is outmatched, outwitted. But also, what I'm not hearing from him and what he is welcome to do, and I think what this interview would have been better served for them to do, would be to rebut the allegations with evidence. To say, you know, I know Jane said that when I said God spoke to me and told me that you are a divine masculine, Jane, and that is the path you have to walk, or you can't be in this organization, you know, she misunderstood me, because what I really meant was, you know, it's like you have to actually point back to the evidence and explain it, because it is out there. You can't just go, well, that's not what I said. It's like, yes, it is.
Yeah.
But at no point does he use actual evidence, and that's why he sounds even stupider, because she is all grounded in factual evidence.
Yeah, even stupider.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to sound stupid regardless, but he sounds even stupider.
Explore. And they were
Invite
with
to
us
explore.
at the time when, you know, we were their like direct guide, and we invited them to explore, and
It's
they
like the
could have
17th
chosen,
time.
They can choose not to do it or not to, you know, like
I guess they felt so invested in the community
Financially,
and felt so
emotionally.
responsible for pleasing you both and listening to your words, that if they didn't follow what you suggested, they would no longer be part of the community. And they were terrified of that because it had become their everything.
Because they were told that.
We have enormous compassion for that. That's
No,
not
but what's your responsibility in that as opposed to your compassion for it?
Well, as I said, I have enormous compassion for that.
As
if
you-
that was their experience. That's
I'm
He
fixing
goes
to...
right back to what she was like, I don't
I'm
care about
sorry.
compassion. As I said, my compassion.
As I said, I'm finna ignore your question and continue with my script before I glitch out. Laurel, everyone's talking about his beard to make him look like the Master Christ, or Laurel said to hide his weak chin. Probably that too.
She does seem very empty.
She's just like,
I just keep thinking about the car ride home.
or that's home after the what happens when the door closes after
Oh,
Avery Haines
man.
leaves, and they're like,
Oh yeah, they're at home.
I think they're at their house.
They're at their house.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they make a comment about it.
Yeah,
later.
Nabil, you're right. We need an AI word count for the words invite and explore.
Yes.
And compassion.
Not what we aim to do, and there was never any opportunity for us to be able to address that if they were having that experience.
What are you talking
Lots
about?
of
They all
upsets
beg
and
not to
difficult
be
challenges come up along the
transitioned.
way. And if you stop doing the spiritual work, one might get stuck in that upset and loop it in their mind.
What?
So
Stuck in the upset and loop
It's-
it in their minds.
it's hard
some
to
lyrics
see
from one of his
you know,
songs he had
that
released.
people had a negative experience with Twin Flames Universe and with us, and you know we did our best to love them. We wish them well. We hope they find
Script.
you know the help that
Script.
they seek.
The
Once
help
again,
that they
like,
seek.
This is online. You can just close your browser.
Do you take any responsibility for the impact that the Twin Flames universe has had on some of the followers? You've obviously had time to reflect on the allegations
Glitch.
against you.
Sure.
Yeah.
So one thing
this.
that we got wrong was that we believed once you attained harmonious union, you found that oneness with
Script also.
your twin flame, your person, that you
Glitch.
would
Pause for a
never
second.
want to leave. That you would find
So I do think that their PR person was like, you got to take accountability for at least something. And so then they spun it into, it's kind of like, my biggest weakness is that I just love too much.
Yes.
You know?
Like, I just volunteer too many hours.
Yeah.
It's like Michael Scott. I care too much. Yeah, you can close your browser, Nabil said, is the same as just leave your abuser. Why didn't you just leave? You should have just left. It's like
Exactly.
when you know that you're employing the type of tactics that they were in order to keep people, and like utilizing sales tactics that, hey, give all credit where credit's due, buddy. We know you went to business school. You were using those skills that you learned. And so using those things and going, just close your browser. It's like telling somebody, you know, just, I don't know, just put the cigarettes down. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, there's something behind that.
Also, it kind of diminishes the work that you claim to do.
Right?
You're
That
kind of
it's-
admitting that, like,
It's kind of just bullshit.
yeah,
Just close your
exactly.
browser. Way to
Um,
fucking give yourself away, too.
Yeah.
Because that was off script. Because you can see when his face shifts and changes.
Mm-hmm.
Because he'll be like, we invite them to explore.
right now he's going into script mode.
And then script mode, and then he'll be like, okay, so what? Like, it's such a noticeable
petulant
change.
teenager.
Yes, he's like a baby child, a man baby. It's a man baby.
that relationship to be so fulfilling and so wonderful and so beautiful that you would work through what arises in the relationship to keep it. So at first we called it permanent harmonious union. And we
Permanent.
thought that once you arrived at that place,
Oh,
that
9.
you just stay there.
Living
But that didn't end up being the case. And
Pause
you
for a
know,
second.
it was a little
He is saying this as if he's presenting scientific research at
Yes.
like a
Well, remember
some kind of symposium or something.
they've got that lady who's got that. If I'm remembering, she was at first, their website literally said, and there are screenshots of it, if I'm not mistaken, their website was like, we will treat PTSD, and then that'll get you in hot water. So they quickly took that away. But a woman that he worked with sort of claimed to cure these things. And like you said, it's scientific. I mean, I think, you know, as anybody could go and make a website and tell people that you cure
But
them.
just the way he's speaking about
Yeah.
their business
It's so inflated.
their well, we realized that it was probably a twin flame harmonium or whatever they call it. And it's like, you're just making stuff
Yeah,
up.
this isn't
like,
science.
Who are you?
Yeah, this isn't science.
Like, I mean, anybody could, this
Yes.
is like my kids say shit like this all the time, but I don't we don't all start abiding by it.
I still remember in the Stoop
That's
chat.
a cult. If you're
Yes.
all of a sudden making up these like religious and spiritual rules
And dictating them and like
yeah, and
passing
like,
them down.
we realized, we discovered because God spoke to me and told me.
Stephanie said someone needs a super cut of the hair flips. Let's
Oh,
do it, folks.
dude.
Let's do it. All right.
altruism from young people who found true love themselves, that it would just be exactly as beautiful for everyone else that it was for us. But the reality was that everyone has a unique case, and their challenges
I thought people
were
were all
different.
sheep.
And some people found that, you know what, I
He's
really
got
don't
so
want this. And
moist.
that's okay. You know, they move on with their lives, and some
is so
people
rehearsed.
found
I
this is
Damn.
too hard, this
dying
is too
inside.
close.
He's getting
I need to
wetter.
take a step back and work on myself, and that's okay. They can do that too. Everyone gets to take it at their own pace.
But what about connecting people within the community young women with people who have criminal records, and them being in situations that are dangerous, and them always having to reflect back on what they're doing wrong to not make this violent relationship work.
Yeah, so there's a lot going on here. That's
and for him, that makes me want to fucking cry. For him to make that face, and I'm gonna rewind it and show you this micro expression of fucking disgust that this man has and disdain for someone else's pain. Whatever it is,
slow-mo?
It like, I'm trying to rewind it. It like, look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that face that he made.
Smug as shit.
Smug as shit when she said a young woman who was victimized, and to be like, it's so, that's what pisses me off.
He's so bothered by all of this.
Yes.
And so just like irritated that he is being challenged and he knows that he is losing. That he acts just like a bratty teenager.
Absolutely. And that's what I'm saying. It's all bullies like that, because I'm so glad she spoke out for that young woman who is a fucking hero. She's like blew the lid off a ton of shit, because that, watching the footage of her being paired up with that guy, the shit he sent her, how he treated her. I mean, goddamn. Yeah. But that tells you everything you need to know about that motherfucker. Going, I'm so compassionate. I'm the master Christ of compassion, like MLK. No, you fucking ain't.
Going on here that's not really in our control. We're not encouraging people to get into relationships with violent people. That's not the frame here.
And what about the allegation that your teachings validate on some level rape?
That's absurd. I'm sorry. That's absolutely absurd.
That if you're with your twin flame.
No, I'm sorry. I'm going to stop you there. There's absolutely no validity to that in any way. We strongly encourage people to respect people's boundaries. We have an enormous respect for people and their sexuality, and we would never, ever encourage anything remotely close to that.
Look at her. She knows he's crushing out.
The idea
really
that a twin flame union has a divine masculine and a divine feminine.
Sure.
And that the divine masculine should be able to have sex every day.
It's a consensual journey. I mean, like, that's common sense with sex. You have to be, both parties have to be willing and choose that. And if at some point during, the intercourse process, one party says, slow down, stop, I'm not comfortable, you should honor that.
Because there's kind of a back and forth on a video with you where you're explaining that Shaleia didn't want to have sex, but in a twin flame union,
it's very
if one person does, then the other one sort of naturally does.
I'll let Shaleia answer the question.
Sorry, so can you repeat that again?
11.
If there is a twin flame union, and one person in the twin flame wants to have sex, then by nature of the mirrored of the two of them, then the other but one does as well.
Yeah, it's very nuanced because, I feel very like
fighting for her life.
Like we're in a very like intimate relationship, and so I have found that sometimes like if I didn't want to, but actually like I did.
Yikes.
Like he can kind of see that, and like it's very healthy for us to have sex. And it's always consensual, and like at the end of the day, like if it's a no, like it's a no, I don't want to. But like I have definitely, because we've been together so long, we're so intimate, like I've come to trust him. And like I know when he's saying like, maybe we should.
And it goes both ways too.
It goes both ways, because sometimes like I'm the one that's like, hey.
I'm like, no, I don't want to. No. And she's like, come on, And
Avery
often,
Haines is in the room, you guys.
It's true.
Jesus
like,
Christ.
It ended up being that it was better that we did. And
it
we
was
both
better
happy
that we did in the end.
And sometimes,
We're talking
it
about
wasn't the case, and I say,
sex.
firm no, and she respects that. And that's what we have in our relationship, and that's what we teach, toward in our community.
Yeah.
Every time he talks, all I see is that 16-year-old girl in that pageant thing trying to answer that question.
Or just be like, maps are such that your husband just wrote Wrong answer. Like, what did we just watch?
Yeah.
What did we just watch? What a romantic intercourse process, Tara said. Yeah, dude, what the fuck?
Also, again, going from like, you're getting your asses handed to you, and this is like a serious thing, and
like,
now you're trying to make jokes about your sex life.
I'm like, there's a real reporter in the room. This isn't one of your YouTube videos.
Yeah, and it's just, read the room.
Right?
Like, understand that, like, that time has passed. Y'all don't have that relationship or dynamic in this interview.
You're not the quirky cuties. Like, you know what I mean? You're the drenched in sweat alleged cult leader.
Oh, yeah.
What happened?
Can I have your water briefly? Yeah. I might be blushing a bit.
Yeah. What's your definition of a cult?
Well, can you ask her again? Hold on a sec.
Yeah.
Watch your beard.
Gotcha there. Definition of a cult.
Yeah. What's your definition of a cult?
So, as far as I understand, there's
The best part is whomever thought they were controlling this interview was like, okay, ask him again, but without the hair in his face so they can use that clip. And it's like, motherfucker, the whole shit is in it. Like, it's not helping to stop.
not a agreed upon specific definition of a cult.
There is.
Johnny,
What my personal definition of a cult is a harmful organization, a group that extracts the well-being of its members in exchange for a delusion,
Yup, check.
and
True love forever.
and doesn't let them go.
Oh, there it is.
3 for 3.
And
Oh,
I can
no.
see why, like, how easy a target Twin Flames universe can be to that, because Twin Flames
glad you are
seems
that.
like
I'm glad
such
you
a
see it, brother.
fantastical idea. Like, you have an ultimate lover. You have someone who's perfectly designed for you, that completes you in every way,
because
that
you said
grows
so,
with you,
and
that
who
is
the
your
fuck are
eternal
you?
complement. It is a divine, extraordinary concept. And I can see how people would be skeptical of such a concept.
But so
dying
that's
inside.
like, are you guys cult leaders?
Oh, yeah, girl.
No.
No.
And a cult, like your description of a cult
edible hit.
is
For real.
extracting and extracting and keeping to their
Extracting their well-being
extracting their well-being.
for egoic purposes.
Let me clarify
And, you know,
exactly what I do.
for a delusion, to feed a lie, to feed a delusion.
13.
13, lucky 13.
And
13.
not letting them leave, like turning them into
We're like
some
halfway
sort of
through.
farm, like the Matrix or something, a little
We're
mini
over
version of the Matrix, or I don't know, I guess cults can be big.
14.
Sure. But yeah, we're not that. We help people. People free to come and go as they please. It's as simple as clicking the X on your browser and
Again,
never
Flamer.
engaging again.
Which also, pause.
And does that you say yes?
The fact that he said that twice now, clearly that was something that was said long before this interview.
Right? That he's like, just close your browser.
Like,
why is
we're
everyone
gonna-
making fun? Like, why is everyone
We're
getting so
going to
mad?
talk about, like, hit these things and, like, you know,
God damn. Laurel
14
said,
we're at, okay?
he said no, but shook his head yes when they said, are you a cult leader?
Oh, did he?
Subtle body movement.
I love how we're all body language experts now because what a fucking
What a
rad
job.
Like,
job to be.
You have an ultimate lover. You have
God,
someone
I'm
who's
sorry I accidentally got us the
perfectly
ultimate
designed
lover
for
and there
you,
ain't no meat
that
or pizza
completes
around
you
it. Like,
in every way.
And pause
that
for a second.
grows with you. That is your
Also, fuck off because what if you don't want that?
fuck off because of the following. But for real though.
So you're saying that like anybody that doesn't strive for that
Yes, Kelly.
and eventually achieve it, like is nothing. It's like
Yeah.
it's like pissing away their reason for existence.
That's basically
What
what
if
he's
you
saying.
just fucking hate people and you want to be by yourself? What if you just want to live in the woods like a witch
Hell yeah.
and not deal with having somebody to clean up after?
That sounds truly divine. Oh my goodness. Yeah, they're about to I think they briefly talk about the compound, Kelly, here in a moment.
eternal complement. It is a divine, extraordinary concept. And I can see how people would be skeptical of such a concept.
But so that's like, are you guys cult
Okay.
leaders?
No,
No.
no.
And a cult, like your
shook his
head. Yeah, I can't even
description of a
shake it.
cult
It was his
is
hair.
So smiling.
extracting and extracting and keeping to their
Extracting their well-being
extracting their well-being.
for egoic purposes. And,
You know.
For a delusion, to feed a lie, to feed a delusion.
We counted that
And
one.
not letting them leave, you know, like turning them into some sort of farm, like the Matrix or something, a little mini version of the Matrix, or I don't know, I guess.
That's 15, I think.
Not sure. But yeah, we're not that. We help people.
Yeah.
People are free to come and go as they please. It's as simple as clicking the X on your browser and never engaging again.
Just click the X, guys.
And does that, you say yes, what's your take on that?
Well,
Oh, wow. That was a new one.
we
Hell
don't
yeah,
harm
what's up,
people.
Fresh?
Shake.
And
Harlem Shake.
But people who've had, I'm sorry to interrupt, but you
Do it.
say you don't harm people, and yet we've heard from people who really do feel as though they've been harmed by you, psychologically. We see people who are still in your community who have undergone surgeries and hormone therapies to change their gender.
You're going to get an opportunity to talk to Adam and Brienne soon and hear their story and hear it from their perspective.
All
You know,
scripted.
how they feel about this. You can talk to them and ask them how they feel.
You can talk to them,
You can talk
child.
to them.
But on the
Looks like he
outside
finna break
looking
into
in,
song.
that sounds like harm to me.
And me.
What's up, Avery?
Um,
Okay.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. I feel that everyone has like their own spiritual journey, and they have a choice to agree or disagree, to go
talk.
down that path or not.
And so
Up talk.
you absolutely deny ever telling somebody that they were a divine masculine when they were a woman.
We encourage people to explore.
Script.
No, but you've never said to somebody
Get him,
you're a
Avery.
divine masculine.
Doesn't make any sense.
We encourage people to explore.
Script.
So you're communicating
Yeah.
more than just your words. And I hesitate to answer that question in the way that I'm feeling led to answer that question, which is yes or no. But the reality
Kind
is,
of is a
16?
yes or no, Jeff.
15?
Like it
there's
kind of is.
there's context here. The answer to your question is we encourage people to explore their spiritual, their inner world.
That's
it's
not
just
the
an
answer to the
invitation
question
to explore.
either.
Dora the Explorer.
But so
This
then that's
motherfucker
an easy
Looks like his
no to the question. Have you ever
platelet
told
count
anybody
is
that they
down
are
by
divine?
the
masculine?
minute.
Like it's,
Dog, it's so true though. Somebody's gonna get him an infusion. Get that bitch some iron pills. I'm concerned about his well-being. His health is fading fast. The bars on the screen. You gotta put the bars on the screen like boo. Like every time Avery asks him a question, it's like fucking more. It's like Street Fighter. It's like Street Fighter. Boo boo. He's like huh, huh,
he
huh.
is in the last third right now.
Dude, it's
I feel.
you know, like they'd be like at the end of this, he's gonna, you know, when they wiggle, it's like finish him. Seriously, dog. But I think medically, it's happening as well.
It's insane to see like not only like a psychological breakdown, but a physical breakdown.
Dog.
Somebody happening at the same time.
It's like, and like you said, you're like, this is a crash out of the century, and it's caught on film.
Dude, I don't know how everybody isn't talking about
Oh
this.
my gosh. Emily said, deny, defend, hair flip. It's all he's doing for real.
Also, like, give her a Pulitzer that,
Dude.
because for real, like, who else has like interviewed cult leaders?
Like, I mean, on that the Manson thing we watched, that Chaos, some of that archival footage looked like it was some interviews, but they were all kind of like, hey, what do you think? And then it was just like letting him go.
Like nobody
this.
really interviews David Miscavige.
Well, they don't like interview him and like go at him unless put it in the chat, but like, you know, where they're gonna hold their feet to the
Walters
fire.
style.
Yeah, dude. Fuck, she's crushing it.
Hold their feet to the fire is a good way to put it.
Yeah. You'll notice in the advertisement for this, I chose a sweatier image of Jeff.
He's going to cry.
Oh, yeah.
Can we do polls?
Let's see if we get a poll.
Okay, because
We're 30 minutes into a 48-minute video.
say okay. Do we think he'll cry? Do you think he'll cry?
I'll say, will Jeff cry?
during this interview?
Okay. Okay. Yes. Next 5 minutes.
Okay.
And then I'll say no. Yes. Just before the end.
Okay.
And then no.
No.
He holds it together. And then I'll just put those. I was trying to think of a fourth one. All right.
Okay.
Can we do it?
Yeah.
Start poll.
Oh, we can't do 2 polls at once, right?
I don't think so.
Because somebody, could we? Oh, we can't add something. Someone had another one of, do you think they'll get up and leave the interview at some point before it's actually over?
Before it's actually over. We can add that one, and after we'll leave this one open for the next 5 minutes to see.
Okay.
Because then after that, your vote will be wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
All right.
It's not a trick question.
There's thousands of hours of content.
16?
And so,
No,
like,
18.
you might find somewhere in there something looking like me saying that.
Something
There are a number of people who have said that they were told not only who their twin flame was within the community, but that they were the wrong gender. And it kind of is a yes or no answer.
We operate
Consumption.
in a very particular way, and the way that we operate is
Here
what
we
we've been
go.
communicating the entire time.
Screaming.
There's nothing
on the Zoom
nefarious
call.
about how we operate, and it generates profound positive results in people's lives, and it doesn't harm anyone.
Script.
And so when you're asking these questions, it's from a particular context. And that context simply does not fit the context that we teach in, that we live in, that we help people with.
Except in the concerns about Twin Flames universe, one of the biggest, most harmful allegation is that you are dictating people's gender and that they are taking it to extreme lengths, including having
video.
surgeries and hormone therapies and changing their gender.
Well,
And so I think it's a fair question.
of course.
That's a yes or a no,
course,
and there's
of
not
course.
really a ton of nuance in it.
Great.
So is it a yes or a no? Have you told people to change genders?
His eyebrows.
We've invited people to explore their
Oh,
gender.
we're back
you
at
want
it.
to stay with that?
That is the truth. That is the whole truth. That's nothing but the truth.
So help me, because I'm
that-
God.
That invitation to explore gender comes from God?
From Master Christ,
No,
which is
it
me.
comes
Business
from a
world.
human talking to a human.
No, but do you get the message from God that someone is in the wrong gender?
Unfazed.
That's sad, dog. I'm sorry I'm snoring so much tonight. They're killing
If you
me.
could give me a moment to collect myself. Thank you.
What do we think he's saying inside? He's like, I wish I was a bird. If I was, I'd fly far, far, far away from here. Lord, make me a bird. She's just sitting there.
She's just like, God
God
damn
is
it.
a loving being.
He came
God
out of
wants
it.
the best for us. I am not God. I have never claimed to be God.
No, I'm not saying that, Jeff. I'm
Hold on, let me finish. I've never claimed to be God.
Master Christ
I teach
says
people
what?
how to have a relationship with God. And God is love. And God is found in your heart. God is found in the love in your heart. And when you have a relationship with the love in your heart,
This
it
is the
has
lyrics of the
profound,
song.
transformative impact on your life.
I'm going to put this in AI and make it into a song.
So my question was,
God is...
do you get a message from God about somebody's gender? Do
It
you?
doesn't work that way, no.
There's no channeling from God about
Idiot.
what
Because you said
someone's
you.
gender
You
should
said
be?
you channeled.
So we,
said it.
as professionals
Professional what?
in our work, get intuitive hits,
A hit.
you might say. Hey, this might be a good idea. It's explorative. Like this heavy frame is just not the reality.
But Jeff, it's a heavy consequence to have kind of a whim that someone might be a different gender.
It's not a whim.
But what did you just describe it as?
He did
So,
just describe it as a whim.
We
And
talk about having an intuitive, experience. Hey, maybe explore this. Hey,
That
that might
sounds
be fun. It's
casual,
innocent. It's from a
whimsical.
creative place. It's
It
from
does
a
sound pretty
light place. And we explore these difficult, heavy spiritual concepts, but it's done with lightness. And you're
What does
going to
that
go
mean?
through on the spiritual journey
you
difficult.
16?
No, way,
Sweet
way more.
16.
We're going to navigate really uncomfortable situations together. And
Look at her, yeah.
that's what we do. And that's what our spiritual community supports.
But you see what I'm saying about you getting an intuition of someone's gender, and then the consequence of them hearing that.
Right, I get how this all looks.
Do you?
It's
Do
just
you,
not
buddy?
true.
It's just not true.
Listen, I know I said and did those things on
Yeah,
film.
I agree with them. It's just the framing of it. It's just, yeah.
It feels unfair to you.
Yeah.
She's just saying
What
something
are
to
the
say
different
something.
businesses that
Yeah, I
are
agree.
in the
He's
Twin
right.
Flames
we
Universe
go.
umbrella?
What about those?
I mean, we're here to talk about Twin Flames.
But that's
Wait,
part
wait,
of it, right?
wait. Pause. Because I've chugged so much water. I gotta go to the bathroom.
Go for it. While
Also, back it up because we're about to switch into when she starts calling him out for being a pyramid scam.
yes. I'm gonna rewind just briefly, and then while you're going there, I will. If you're not familiar, and have not listened to the episodes, or if you don't remember, because it was, I think, last year. I can't recall quite all of them, but the business filings that I was able to look up, and I called the county clerk and everything, and was able to see on the I think the state of Michigan, and I can't quite recall what the other state was. It's in the episode and in the show notes. But they had several businesses that included sort of a mental health counseling appearing type business, although they have disclaimed that that's what it is. They're Twin Flames like website. Then they're where you I guess meet other people. Then there's the Twin Flames school, and you've got to pay all this money for the courses. And then they also started, it's not funny, because it sounds like a pyramid scheme when I'm going to describe it. But then they also started a food preparation business. And somebody's husband was a chef or a caterer or something like that. But the food was crazy looking. And I think we went through it. I mean, at least in my opinion, it looked like Swanson television dinners, but massive, crazy portions. And it was sort of like this. Well, if you want to, I don't know, get real horny for your twin flame or whatever, you had to buy this food and take these classes and whatever. So you start to get the Michael Scott doop, as well as their sales tactics, which really involved a lot of, you've got to bring in 3 people, or you've got to make these sales, and work all these hours on these commissions and whatnot, which is, again, this is not me making this up. It's just footage I watched of him saying he was doing this stuff. So that is the context with which Avery's about to dunk on this motherfucker. Yeah, Laurel, it was an all meat diet. It was crazy. Yeah, the county clerk
They
was
ate so many hot dogs.
it was nuts.
It was insane.
That was so funny. When we were watching this, you go, did I dream that, or did they loved hot dogs? They went ham on meat for real.
Yeah, and then imagine you like hot dogs so much that's if somebody was tell me 3 things about Jeff that everybody knows.
They're
and one of them was
he
he loves hot
deep
dogs.
throats, fucking Joey Chestnut. I've never seen a man go through.
I don't want to eat enough hot
wieners.
dogs. To
All right, well,
I'm
we're
known
at
for it.
35 minutes, so the poll 60% locked in is yes before the end. So
What?
that he will cry before the end.
Okay.
All right.
What are the other things?
It was no, he would not cry, or in the next 5 minutes.
I was just meant how many people have voted on those.
Oh,
Anybody?
23% next 5 minutes.
Okay.
16% thought no.
Okay.
Alrighty. Yeah, Emily said, I'm waiting for him to say, I did not tell them to change genders. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark. I'm telling you, it's like The Room. It very much makes me
The
think
structure seems to be that there is wealth at the top, and that anyone's wealth below is reliant on bringing in more people below
17.
that.
Yeah, it's
below
just not
that.
true.
Double.
But on
18.
on this concept of a pyramid
No,
scheme
we're way
or
over that.
multi-level
Maybe
marketing,
19.
that
Somebody's keeping track.
people are constantly having to pay thousands and thousands of dollars to get the training, and that the only way that they can make money back
Shaleia's
is
so
by bringing
nervous.
in new people. That it's
Which is
kind of this
in
pyramid.
writing.
I mean, that's an unfair assessment to say that we're a pyramid scheme. We're not. Many businesses function.
Did she say pyramid
just like
scheme?
this.
I think she said a ledge.
It's not uncommon.
Well, pyramid. That's the definition of a pyramid scheme. Seems to be what's happening with the Twin Flames universe when it comes to
She's like-
coaching and master
I'm gonna hold your hand.
classes, master coaches versus right. I mean, do you know what I'm
we're
saying?
here
That's-
to
you became the
serve,
ultimate
So when
master.
you look at how to make money, it's very simple.
I
you
went to
have
business school.
value, and that value has to exchange from one party to another. And we teach how to create value and to share it with other people.
Share it with
And so
that's business,
one of the
baby.
things
Value
that Twin Flames Universe
transferred.
does is it offers extensive training to certify coaches to be able to serve other people on their twin flame
To
journeys.
make them
Certified
certified
by
coaches.
whom?
Thank you.
Avery.
By our spiritual community. There's
What does
extensive
that
training
mean?
that they
What
have to
extensive
undergo.
training?
We are the
We
It's
made it all
just shit
up.
You made
The
up.
training developed by whom?
right by our spiritual
21,
community and by this
baby.
teaching. We're the thought leader on twin flames.
The thought leader on twin
But
flames, a
this is one
concept
of
we
the-
made
this
up.
This is one of the
think it is.
allegations against you, that you are wholly unprepared and untrained and
No, it's silly.
unskilled
Holy.
to deal with people who are vulnerable,
True.
who are coming to you in a vulnerable
Yeah.
state.
So we love people, but if they're having mental health issues, that's outside of our scope. Or if
Not
they're having a
interested.
medical issue, that's outside of our scope. And
Yeah.
we regularly refer people to, Western medicine, to doctors, to their doctor. If they're having an
But
emergency to go to
Jeff,
the ER.
You're treating PTSD. I mean, that's a
I'm
serious.
not treating PTSD, absolutely not.
Anymore.
We are
Removed it from
healing
the
trauma
website.
and addressing trauma, and that can result in people's PTSD symptoms going away.
And did you guys set up the church specifically to avoid taxes?
So silly. We're
For
the
the
church's
jugular.
largest donor. It's designed to.
Well, let's
first
take
of all,
that
he
in
just said
turn.
no, silly. He just called this reporter silly.
Yeah, which is ironic given that he immediately was like, we're the largest donor and use it to pay our expenses. Uh-oh, what have I said?
But that's the type of man he is. Is like, he's just so like demeaning.
Oh, silly. It's like, did you just fucking say that to
Also,
Avery
like-
Haines? Fucking.
I don't know. It gives me the ick for a dude to say silly.
Yeah, it's minimizing and demeaning, and it comes
I
from
just
like
no,
real
I just
small
mean
dick-
like that word.
Oh yeah, what
Sounds-
silly? Yeah, it sounds like
I don't know. If Tommy all of a sudden was like,
like it sounds
"You're
like
acting silly," I'd be like, "Oh, what are you
stop
saying?
baby talking
Stop
me.
it. I
Don't
can't."
baby talk me. I don't. If somebody's like, "You're so silly," I'm
No,
like, "Stop it! I hate it."
Oh no.
You know what I mean? Yeah, she's not silly is right. She's about to seriously stomp your ass. All right.
Paris.
Oh wait, did you need water?
No, I have water. I was wondering if there was perhaps a different type of drink.
I think there's only, unfortunately, water.
Okay.
Or a Sprecker's root beer.
No, thank you.
Okay. But if you need water, I got this one. It's
Is that a backup?
It's even bigger.
Oh,
Paris got it in advance.
what happened? Oh, damn.
He said it was a deal.
Oh, nice. It was a deal.
So we can
I
chug
mean,
them.
you'd be stupid not to.
See, exactly. Well, just in case. Unfortunately, I'm sorry that we did not stock Diet Coke. That's on me.
It's okay.
All right.
I just meant like
Or Diet Dr. Pepper.
a
Or
Waterloo.
oh, I need to get. Search the fridge, babe. If we've got one, we might have an errant Waterloo from a party.
Support the spiritual community and the spiritual teaching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was no decision or no discussion, videotape discussion or email discussion about how to avoid paying taxes and setting up a church?
In
There
business,
was
it's
before.
very normal to minimize your tax burden. That's a very that's standard. It's that's basic. Why would you pay more
basic.
taxes than you are supposed to? We've always ensured we pay our fair share of taxes. You can't avoid the tax person. There's no way
You
around
can't
that.
avoid the
And
tax
if there is,
person.
that's so far beyond us, and we don't have time to deal with that. We just pay our taxes and go on about serving people.
Because in your
That was the hair flip.
Yep.
church filings,
22.
It's things like $40,000 for PR. Sorry, Nick, if he finds out that we know how much he's being paid, but
She
it's
just
like,
outed
Oh,
how
wait,
much.
sorry.
there
Back
are
it up.
PR $40,000 for PR. So
Deal with that. We just pay our taxes and go on about serving people.
because in your church filings, it's things like $40,000 for PR. Sorry, Nick, if he finds out that we know how much he's being paid, but like
We've seen the papers, Nick.
there are PR
Sure.
fees in your church filings.
Okay.
That's a personal expense,
How
bud.
does that get
Okay.
explained?
So
I
flippant.
mean, our whole community came together to pay that. Like we're all
Our whole
paying
community
to support.
is impacted by what happened. It didn't just happen to Jeff and I. It happened to everyone that's in our
I
community.
mean, you're the one that are
And
financially
so,
suffering, I think, from it probably.
we all collectively came together and asked for the support that we needed
Financial support.
Sure.
Yeah.
for
And-
PR.
yeah, for PR.
you know.
We need that
Because
PR.
you can't navigate, this
Also,
kind of situation alone.
The
First of all-
way that we all found out you got paid that much and it's going like this is crazy. It's crazy business.
Oh man.
Oh, my
I
God.
would be, if I was that PR dude, one, I would be over there probably just like, I don't know, checking to see on the way home where the tallest bridge was. I don't know if I can come back from this.
Nabil said he basically led lambs to slaughter. I mean, right? These people were wholly unprepared for this woman to shred them.
Or they're
just uncoachable
idiot clients, and you're like, this is good. Imagine that he was like, honestly, this was better than they had been doing.
He's like,
and then think of how bad it must have been.
he's like, I'm actually shocked it went that well. And you're like, good God.
He high fives himself after. Maybe
He's like,
this was great.
crushed. I fucking crushed. He's like, listen, he didn't get up and slap her.
True.
Pardon me.
I don't think it's fair to say we shouldn't have support navigating this.
But why would that come out of the church?
It comes out of the whole community of which we are a part and of which we contribute to the largest amount.
What about golden
So
children?
it's money funneling.
Another passing idea.
Yeah, it was a passing idea. Just a thought.
So
This is all
in
very
case
scripted too, that reply.
a passing idea, it was a whim. So they've described telling people to transition genders as a whim and a passing idea. And then this golden child, if you're not familiar, I think we briefly touched on it in the 3rd episode, wherein they were telling couples that they were going to move to this ranch that they were going to buy, and then who was going to be coupled with whom, and those people had to show a certain amount of income, and then those people would be allowed to have kids because they were going to have a kid, and I guess they wanted, other kids for it to play with or whatever. So again, there was a spreadsheet involved with like tracking people's sales and whatnot. Mm-hmm. So then the crazy thing is for them to go, it was a passing idea. It was just a whim that involved telling people to copulate to completion and have a whole ass other person only after they've achieved sales goals.
It's not diminishing it or making it seem less horrible than it is with your flippant, like, oh, devil may care attitude.
For real.
In fact, it's insulting.
It makes it worse.
Yeah.
Playing around with an idea.
Playing around.
It was a silly idea.
Silly!
And
He's a silly
we
little
explored
idea.
it for a very
Boy.
short period of time and
He
moved
said,
on.
I was a silly boy.
Stop, Heather. That's 3 times.
Okay,
I've
I'm sorry. I
asked
won't.
you,
I won't.
please.
I won't. I won't.
You're gonna do it again?
No, I'm not. You said not to.
I said it 3 times.
I'm not
before
saying
that.
it. I'm listening.
Okay.
Selective genetics. Yeah, probably that too.
That's
for sure.
what it was. Also had something to do with that.
Yeah.
They were in charge of picking who went there, and the people they picked were of a certain look. if I
Certainly.
recall.
Yeah, you just have a whim and you're like, you know what? All of a sudden, I'm going to get into dressmaking. And you start buying a form and everyone's like, what are you doing?
Get into dressmaking.
Do you think that it's possible that you will one day see inviting people to explore the divine masculinity and the divine femininity as a silly idea that you should move away from? That
Got
that doesn't
'em.
really be
Yeah.
part of your...
Yeah, any of it. There's no,
So the whole thing that he said, I'm divine, God told me, and you just whatever, I might change my mind later.
It all could be wrong. So then why would you... All of the things you're saying can't both be true.
Yeah.
Like you're telling on yourself.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's like, it's all just made up. Just close your browser. And then
He's trying to make it seem like casual as a way to deflect from the heavy accountability that they should be taking.
Yeah.
And instead, all you're doing is trying to tell us, oh my gosh, we're so important. This whole community is so important. But at the same time being like, I mean, it's whatever. All of this is kind of stupid and could just go away and we'd be fine.
Yeah, it's like, who cares? Like, just close your browser. It's fine. But if you don't pay us $10,000, you'll never find your true love. So it is hard to see them, like, absolutely just to say the opposite. So again, I hope your algorithm brought you here if you've believed anything these people said, because he said to your face, it's a silly whim, and he might change his mind.
Okay, wait.
there's no
Pause.
sacred cow.
Bianca asks, what will trigger the waterworks?
Oh
so
my
most
gosh.
people think he's going to cry, right?
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do it as if it were a Q&A, just so you guys can all have your answers in this one box.
Nice.
And then we'll go through them.
Okay, so what do we... If you think he's going to cry, what's the breaking point?
Okay, there should be a separate little Q&A box. And then I'll go back to the chat. And then
Back to the chat.
back to the chat. All right. Here he goes. Let me get back a little bit because you said something stupid right here. Hold on.
Oh, I mean, that's you.
It's every moment.
Go back to any moment.
Inviting people to explore the divine masculinity and the divine femininity as a silly idea that you should move away from. That doesn't really be part of your.
Yeah, any of it. There's no sacred cows here. Like even the twin flame concept. Like it's okay if it's misproven. I didn't come into this from a spiritual perspective. You know, I grew up Catholic, and I left the religion in the church because of their stance on gay marriage. I felt that if two people loved each other,
out of left fucking field comes this one because this $40,000 PR guy was like, at some point working, you know, this story
you're an ally.
because it shows that you're an ally and we're trying to get people to like you. And he was like, here's the time. I'm going to shoot my shot and just this story out of nowhere into this.
It makes me think of that on Popstar Never Stop Never Stopping, the song where he's like, I'm not gay, but if I was, I would want equal rights. It's very much like, I'm a dude that cares about the gay community. He's like, I cared about him so hard, I quit Catholic.
Right.
Oh my gosh. Tommy says, if she asked one of those, what would you like to say to the world type questions? Yeah, that could get him to cry. Who knows? Here it comes. I'm an ally, guys.
very passionate about this. They should be allowed to get married. And it was so painful to leave my church and my religion because of a disagreement.
He's such a victim.
I knew what was in my heart, and I followed that with courage.
What a hero.
And it led me to a new path. And that new path is beautiful for me.
Why does that make you
Big
so
ass quartz
sad?
crystals.
I loved the Catholic Church. I have so much love for
I have so much love for Jesus. I mean, okay. He's having a straight up panic attack.
It was so hard for me to
He's framing it.
leave that all behind.
He's trying to mask it as this
These
Jesus
are-
thing.
My truth.
These are lyrics, another set of lyrics to a different song. It was so hard to leave it all behind and follow my truth. Everyone's like, oh, you came out as gay? No, I just hated how they treated him.
And like
man.
what
Had
a
to leave.
victim he was,
Yeah.
a straight cis man that had to leave the Catholic Church because you disagreed with.
Now is as good a time as ever to see what you all have guessed. Talking about their baby, Victoria. Nope, it was the Catholic Church's
Talking
treatment
about
of
Jesus.
Jesus. He's going to cry as a last resort. I think that's what he was doing. I technically think that counts. He might pee out of his tear ducts.
I also though think he is
Is this actual
at
tears?
the point where I'm sure like you're even if you like fake cry, if you felt like you were gonna cry, I feel like
Yeah.
real stuff would start to come out.
Especially if you could just like
I'd
get
be
yourself to
holding
that
back
place.
tears this whole interview.
You just have to give an excuse to be like, God, I hate this. It's going so bad. To just be like, I just love the Catholic Church so much. And they're like, what? At least he didn't start crying on like, it was a silly whim.
Mm-hmm.
So our other guesses were they're going to reveal they almost broke up because of all this drama, but the power of love, sang in the Huey Lewis voice in my head, kept them together. She flips her hair better than him. I think he's going to overdo it on crying to defend his community, or they're all being mean to me. Well, no, we couldn't have guessed, y'all.
No, you
Nobody could have that guessed that it was. I just was thinking
Catholic
about
Church.
Jesus. Yeah, he probably can't get tears to come out. So
what was the time?
41 minutes and 6 seconds. So it was not the next 5 minutes, but it was before the end.
Okay.
So the majority had it. All right.
But
The
it was the
veins in
right
his
thing to
forehead.
do.
But
What are we
Jeff,
at?
why
23?
is this making you so upset?
I loved my church.
But your church didn't have you still could be a part of that church.
No, I didn't agree with its fundamental principles. How could I be a part of something that I don't agree with?
Because I want to be
And
in
it's
charge.
okay. Like, I'm not mad at the church. It has its, the Catholic Church. It has its
24.
Look at me. I'm such a
Drenched.
viewpoint, and I respect it. And I respect why it feels that way. And it led me to exploring different spiritualities, and that was beautiful.
25.
It's been nothing but beautiful for my life. But I can't deny how
Really,
hard
buddy?
it's been. And it led me to this idea about masculine and feminine, that, there is a way that everyone wins, that the LGBTQ plus community can win and have agreement here with these, traditional views that it's only a man and a woman.
Wait. So wait. He's saying,
turn at the end.
He's saying, which is, I think, a crock of shit, but let's try to break it down, that he had to leave the Catholic Church because it doesn't allow gay marriage. And he thinks that gay people should be able to get married. And yet, we watched footage of him telling a very happy lesbian couple that one of the women had to have a spirit penis and that the other one could not possibly be sexually satisfied by her wife because you got to have a divine masculine, and there was no spirit penis. That's what I'm hearing of why he's crying, and that's why I'm confused and why he's crying.
Spirit Penis is a pretty dope heavy metal band name, though.
What's up, we're Spirit Penis? We're here to shred.
Oh, man.
The guy flips his hair.
Talk about getting
being
ghosted.
launched against you both in Twin Flames universe right now.
Yeah, none.
There's none there's none.
She asked if they had any charges against them right now.
I think so. Let's check.
If investigations are being launched against you both and Twin Flames universe right now.
Yeah, none.
There's none.
None.
There's none.
That was on deck. There are.
Yeah, I think there were detectives that came to our door in Farmington Hills.
That we talked about.
But they found nothing, and we answered them honestly, or I think you did.
She had just gotten surgery.
I just had dental
she literally
surgery
came
that
back
morning.
from surgery, and she's sitting in the chair, not 30 minutes coming back from this, pretty intense surgery, and there's detectives at my door.
Yeah.
Well, there was an article.
He's doing impressions,
Can
guys.
I come and talk to you? We're like, yeah, come on in. I got
He's got his tight five. He's like, you guys ever have the cops come to your house?
You can't do that. You
Try to
can't,
bust up your
it's like
cult?
Whiplash. It comes across as even more inauthentic and insane.
It seems creepy,
that
flippant.
you're just trying to be conversational and friendly now when this is not going that direction. Also, this story was planned too. If they got,
it had to have
they
been.
got to an opportunity to talk
Try
about
to shoehorn it in. Also, he cried at 41:05. We're at 42:52. So a minute and some change later, he went from I love the Catholic Church to oh buddy, I'm a detective at your house. What are we watching? Someone fall apart in front of our eyes, I think is what we're watching. And spoiler alert, Jeff and Shaleia, I've got just a piece of information that if the Federal Bureau of Investigation or the IRS are investigating you, you won't know about it until they show up in their blue jackets and start taking all of your shit like the beginning of Schitt's Creek. So good luck.
Hi.
No.
And
IRS?
No.
never. Like I said, we pay our taxes. I have a business degree. I'm very respectful of the IRS. I know what they can do to you. I'm not here to try to mess with those people. We have accountants and we have attorneys, and they look through all of our things and our books, and they make sure that we're not even in the gray area with these things.
He's
we're
flushing.
very much
spiraling the twitching
very well within all
touches
all laws and all legality.
And can you tell me a little bit about Grace?
Yeah.
And where does she fit into the twin flames
kid.
of you two?
She's more like a monastic soul. That's how we've always felt her as, and that's what our logic and our intuition has led us to believe. But I'm still going to teach her about, sex and sexuality. And
What does that mean, a monastic soul?
Don't act like we should all know that.
someone who is whose life path is dedicated to God as their love or lover.
They've decided
alone.
that for their
Yes.
daughter.
So
That's-
celibate, sorry.
Yeah.
Like a
Also,
nun or a monk.
Like a nun.
Like a nun or a monk.
You guys are on a journey that people are watching and following very closely.
Wait, we just breezed past the fact that their baby, who's a toddler, I guess, they've decided that she is going to be a nun, and there's been speak of her only lover will be God. So why, I don't...
Yeah. I don't think that that's good. And it also seems illegal at some point.
It's just weird.
It's also abusive. Well, you've predestined your child's whole life.
Yeah.
You're going to,
What are you going to...
forbade them from ever having like a romantic relationship.
She's like, I'll still teach them about sex. I'm like, yeah, she'll probably get a hold of the internet and watch footage of you guys talking about your weird fucking shit. Mm-hmm. All right.
So like a weird control thing.
That's what it feels like. Yeah. All right.
Because they believe in you.
Yeah.
And you're experimenting with things that
They know that we're experimenting
They
and
know
exploring.
we're experimenting. Yeah, trust me, people have a mind of their own in our spiritual community, and
Very much so.
they don't always listen to us, and like, that's okay. I don't really care. It's your life.
What's the future for you guys? Is this all going to come crashing down?
No, I think if anything, we're only going to continue to thrive and
So good.
be a shining light on the world, because I feel very strongly that we have something that's critically important to the world, and it's love, and it's the type of love that everyone like desires, or most people desire and yearn for, and that it's
They
here.
yearn.
It's a very practical spirituality that you can apply in your daily life all the time,
Now she's,
and
like,
it will bring you
pitching
closer
it.
and closer to
Yeah.
the divine, and just have amazing positive effects on your life.
They're like, when we answer the questions, like work in some of the sales language. And that way, if people watch it, we're going to crush it so good that people are going to want to sign up. Oh, thank you. Nabil said, I crushed her vocal fry voice.
Yeah.
It's the up talk for me.
Oh,
I'm still going to teach
dude.
her.
Why are you getting all misty-eyed?
Oh, I'm thinking about Jesus. Sorry, we go back to the other part of just thinking about, because it was very healing to address that, to talk about, why I left the Catholic Church and my views on the LGBTQ plus community.
Talking about, motherfucker?
My love for
That was
Jesus.
moments ago.
Just thinking about that.
I was just thinking about that.
Did you?
And
Wait.
victims,
Hold
they're
up.
not
Hold up.
First of all, he had to remind everyone.
Because it was so long ago.
But also because he wants credit for
Yes.
like, I was trying to let everybody know that I'm pro LGBT.
She looks
so-
like she's going to break.
Oh, yeah. I think she already has.
No,
probably.
like she's fixing to laugh.
Oh.
Because he's like, oh, I'm just thinking about Jesus.
Just thinking about that. That's all.
Our victims, they're not victims, and they're not brainwashed. They're very smart people, and they can choose to be with Twin Flames Universe or not be with Twin Flames Universe. And, the love and support is quite overwhelming. Like,
Spiraling.
they love it.
Mhm.
They love the work.
Everyone loves us.
And
love
they're
the
here
work.
because they
We're
know
loved.
that what they receive just benefits their life, like, completely.
And
Tommy
there are
said,
people,
he was like, I think I was supposed to cry about Jesus at the end and I did it too early. So can we just circle back to that? But like, she was trying to get back on script, but to say our victims are not victims
Yeah.
is, like you said, it's such insult to injury.
And they're saying the words first that they shouldn't,
Yes.
that they would, I assume, not want to be brought up abuse victims.
Right. And it's
I
like,
certainly wouldn't if I was,
alleged.
if they have a PR person, they should
not.
tell them that,
Why are you the one that says it first? Because she's like, people who have engaged and they're like victims of our abuse, they make that claim themselves. You're like, no one said that.
You've been in the Twin Flames universe for a long time, and the promises have not come true yet. When do you realize maybe we don't have the answer for everybody?
I mean, we don't have the answer for everybody, There's God in everything. There's truth in everything. Everyone has their own path. This is not, the end of all other paths. This is just one good path that works for us and works for those who are interested in trying it out for themselves.
Some
But it
ranch
kind of
dressing for the
messes up the
salad.
business model, right? If people don't get all that you've promised in the wealth, the love, the twin flame.
I mean, it's a spiritual process, and when you work the spiritual process, your life improves. That's what we have found to be true. But it's an individual journey. Everyone has to take it at their own pace. That's like right for them and compassionate for them.
It's like talking.
And how is your
Pause it for a
relationship?
second.
It's really good.
Oh, okay. Because also,
Oh, yeah. This is
maybe the worst, the cringiest part of the whole thing. Oh shit! What was I gonna say? what was she just talking about?
She just sort of spoke in circles.
Oh yeah, she's just. Oh, it's like
To do
talking
it at your
to
own
two
pace.
people that are like high and you're not, and you're trying to like get answers, and they're just like talking about.
You ever
you're
think,
like, what are
man,
you
that
even
just-
talking about? Like this doesn't have anything to do with what I just asked you.
Yeah, she just is like, and people, they can just paces and explorations. Yeah, it becomes the same stuff. Well, the final moments.
We're very happy. We're very in love. So I started to cry. Yeah. It's very it's very sacred to us. It's like our altar. And yeah, I love Jeff with my whole heart, and I'll be with him forever. I've never been so happy in my entire life.
Really?
This
But the business doesn't continue.
Just imagine
without-
just like being fucking raked over to the coals by a journalist and sobbing, going, "I've never been happier in my entire life. This is where I imagined myself would be."
And then she immediately just goes back to the question, doesn't even acknowledge it.
Yeah, Avery's like, "Anyway, you seem like you're having a time." But yeah, just to sob.
No, I think the tears were real because she's probably been holding them back.
I know. She's like, "This fucking sucks, man."
For sure.
2 Jeff crying moments and 1 Shaleia crying moment.
love for each other, right?
Your business doesn't work without
It's
it.
I don't
all
know.
built on your twin flame union.
Yeah, our whole life is. And that's built on our relationship with God.
Yeah.
So I would rather not be in a world without God. If God isn't real, then take me away. I don't want any part of that.
I don't want any part of
I
that.
believe God is real.
I gotta
And I built
rewind it. I gotta
everything
hear
on-
it again. That's my new mantra.
My entire life.
I'm sorry, I got too bad.
But the business doesn't continue without that love for
I
each
didn't
other.
forgot he said that too.
Right. It's
I
all
don't know.
built on your twin flame union.
Yeah, our whole life is. And that's built on our relationship with God.
Yeah.
So I would rather not be in a world without God. If God isn't real, then take me away.
Lock me up, baby.
I don't want any part of that. I believe God is real. And I built everything on him.
Well, some of them have been with you for a really long time, and obviously they don't have the wealth that you have, and they don't have the twin flame that you have.
You've been
I
sucking
mean,
people.
everyone's got their own personal
They
journey.
got their own twin flame. They have their own journey. Not everyone really wants a house this big. Like,
I don't recommend it to most people.
Yeah.
Not
It's
everyone
a lot
wants
of
to-
work.
it's a lot of work.
Hey, I just want.
Oh, that's how
like,
you know that they're
such
at
an
their
like
house.
we're like as a really great philosopher like we are said, mo money mo problems. And so I wouldn't recommend being this wealthy. Like so many they recently just sold their Corvette to get a truck, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so like we're like we're downsizing.
And then again, he tries to be like jokey and
Yeah.
charming with this.
I
I
wouldn't
wouldn't recommend it.
our giant mansion that we love to post pictures
what
about.
a bitch to clean
It's
it is.
so difficult, but that's why we have people that live with us and do the work for free. It really is hard, guys. I don't know that they do that anymore.
I
but
remember
they used to.
being told growing up, like, either you own the house or the house owns you.
And what's it for you guys? Does the house own you, or do you own the house?
We have the house in order to support us to be able to share this message with the world. If
Yeah.
we weren't interested in continuing past this point, I wouldn't need a house this big.
And that's why
Kind of abruptly ends.
it does end pretty quickly. The
Which makes me feel like there's probably a chunk of the end that we're missing.
well, it is on the documentary. I think I could be able to show. It's like the last 2 minutes. My mom tipped me off because I was like, I sent it to her, and she was like dying laughing. Of course, sending me very funny texts. And then I said, I'm so mad I can't find the end of it. And she was like, well, if you watched the docuseries, which we had, but I couldn't recall. I couldn't recall that it was exactly that end, but I think it is a different part. So let me go to their CTV interview, or not CTV, the docuseries, and pull up the very end and see if that will give you what we seek. But so far, what do you think?
Oh my God.
What a time. What a time. Yeah, I think there's just these few minutes here at the end. If we want to, do you want to try to show it?
Sure.
Okay, let's see if we can. It also will include a few moments of I think
This is from the documentary about
it's the CTV documentary. It's about an hour and a half long, but they really tried to continue to. Okay, here it is. I think this is the last few bits that we saw. Let's see. Stand by. It's gonna look crazy for a minute. Cool. All right.
Why are you getting all misty-eyed?
Oh, I'm thinking about Jesus. My love for Jesus. Yeah, so just thinking about that.
That's too big.
How is your relationship?
We've all
It's
seen
really
this
good.
screen
So
film
good.
before you.
Yeah, we're very happy.
So good.
We're very in love. So we'll start to cry.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very it's very sacred to us. It's like our altar.
Our love is?
Yes, our love is
And,
like an altar.
Yeah, I love Jeff with my whole heart, and I'll be with him forever.
Sorry, you guys.
I've never been so happy in my entire life. I'm such a better person, and I love myself so much, and he's taught me that.
But the business doesn't continue without that love for each other, right? It's all
know.
built
To watch
on
it again.
your twin flame union.
Yeah, our whole life is. And that's built on our relationship with God.
Yeah.
So I would rather not be in a world without God. If God isn't real, then take me away.
That's it. That's what
I don't want any part of that.
It's just like The Room. It's funnier the
believe
more
God
you
is real.
watch it.
And I built everything on
part
it.
of that.
Coming up,
I'm not gonna stop, and I hope that Jeff and Shaleia know that.
So, look at her. She's got a fucking cool ass vest on.
You have to wear a.
This is her big ass house, though.
we happen to be at the Twin Flames Universe headquarters as a tow truck pulls up. The yellow Corvette, a symbol of Jeff's success in so many videos, is hoisted up and taken away.
Hoisted.
I got that for my 30th birthday from Shaleia.
Jeff says he doesn't really use it anymore and has traded it in for a Silverado pickup.
Yeah, it was special. It's kind of like the, end of an era of my life.
Yeah, you can't put a baby in the back of that, I guess.
Online, Jeff has called some of his former followers his hate squad. Now he says he feels compassion for them.
These former students left before they got the healing.
So they just got out too soon.
Yeah.
Well, they had an upset that they didn't finish healing.
They didn't finish healing and upset.
They
And
didn't.
I
They may
hate
claim
that they
healing-
talk about it as if like it's just a common thing
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
lexicon. Like everybody just knows this. Like, bitch, nobody knows about your
You
fake
know,
religion.
you have to heal an upset. It's a healing. We have to, but she just also repeats what he said. I hope I didn't just mash that. Okay, wait.
He hasn't finished healing an upset, but she has found what
this
drew
is
her
healing.
into the community in the first place. Love.
She's badass.
I have found what a real healthy, happy relationship feels and looks like, and it's nothing like the twin
I love
flame
her. I think she's so
relationship that I
badass.
was in. Yeah.
You found love without
This is
it
a
being
nice outfit,
channeled by
Avery.
anybody from
I
God?
found love without it being channeled. Yes, I found love without anyone
glowing,
telling
too. She
me
looks
who
great.
it was, or it was on my own, and I'm very happy.
Shaving,
Hey, guess
waxing,
what,
and
guys?
clinical-
Shaving's out.
Shaving's out. What's in?
You know what? Waxing, it sounds like. I love to see the ads I get because I'm like, what do you guys, you think I need to, all right, get a little hair off of me? Well, that's sort of the wrap up of the end of the interview. The series on, or the documentary goes on to let us know at the end that there is an active Michigan Attorney General investigation going on. So as far as them going, no, nothing's going on. There's no investigations. And moments later, CTV's like, well, actually.
Yeah. They answered that pretty quick too.
Pretty quickly. But yeah, that's Jeff and Shaleia's.
Well, thank you for being here with us for this. I hope that it lived up to the hype that we gave it.
Yeah, because it truly felt like a fever dream when we were watching it. And the whole time we were just like, oh, we've got to have everybody on here with us. So you all made our dream come true. Yeah, thank you for being with us. Go check out the Twin Flames episodes if you haven't listened to them already. We'll
probably be doing an update soon.
We'll have to do
an investigation.
Yeah, whatever's going on for sure. And we'll all keep an eye out. If you see any Twin Flames news, send it to us because we try to keep, Google alerts on people and stuff. But sometimes the best is y'all in that Patreon Facebook group. So thanks for being in there. We'll see you on Sunday at 8:30 Central for Sunday Scaries. So send those videos in at sinisterhood.com/scaries. And
also share this with not us even, just
them.
Because I feel like this is so iconic in what a crash out it is. But how is it not viral on everything?
I was looking.
How is not every TikToker using footage from this?
That's what I'm saying. It only has 11,000 views, and I was like, this should have 5 million views. This is such good journalism and such good work. She just pushed without being rude, or I think that's the key too. Is her tone was so even, and being that he can be a bombastic person. It's if he doesn't have yelling, what does he have? And it sounds like not a lot.
But also, there's so many moments that are just you double over in laughter.
Dude, yes.
I need people to make TikToks.
We're going to get a super cut of, I don't want to live in a world like that. Take me away. Or, I was just thinking about Jesus. Throw your favorite quotes from tonight in the chat. I just love Jeff so much. Hey, close your laptop. Press the X. What? There's so many. Or that.
That was the good one.
Whatever that is. So thank you guys. Yeah, Laurel. Oh, Laurel said I've been a patron for years. How did I miss the Patreon Facebook group? Yes, well, go join. It's in the pinned post on Patreon. And y'all, speaking of Patreon, there's a best of Patreon coming out tomorrow. Madeline Murray O'Hare Part 2 is coming out next week. There's a lot. They were missing 5 years, so it'll be a longer episode. And we'll be glad to bring you that then. So enjoy this. Thanks for being with us.
Shouldn't have laughed at that.
No, I mean, it was
I wasn't
me.
laughing
You were
at
laughing
that.
at me. Thank you.
Just wanted to. Yeah, thanks. This was a lot of fun. My stomach hurts from laughing so hard.
What a great time. We appreciate y'all so very much. And we'll see you on the next one.
Thank you.